Today we are going over $67 billion worth of investments coming to the Boise area, starting at this $1 billion investment here in Meridian, going all the way to, at the end, a $50 billion investment coming to the Boise area. And this is not just an update on the information. You're gonna get all the information, but I'm also gonna go through how it's going to impact the different suburbs, the different areas, and what you need to know, because it really is and could affect where you choose to live in the Boise area with these really insane investments that are gonna cause a lot of growth in the Boise area. So we'll start off with the $1 billion investment and work our way up to driving through this $50+ billion investment that's going to change Boise forever. And before we jump into this $1 billion investment here in Meridian, this is a channel for those of you who are moving to Boise, Idaho. My name is Brady Fagel. I am a Boise local, a real estate agent, and I am here to help you guys, whether you're moving to Boise, thinking about moving to Boise, whatever it is, and know that when you reach out to me, you actually get to work with me. I don't just pass you off to an agent on my team. And I truly got into this business to help people. And so any and everything that you guys need, I'm here to help. I just want to help people, whether moving to Boise isn't the right move for you, whether the houses that you think you should be buying aren't right for you, whatever it may be. I just hope to get to know you guys and truly build relationships. But now we're gonna jump into a new type of video that we're doing on the channel. And we're gonna go through all of these big changes in the Boise area. And I'm gonna start off each of them with just telling you what they are, where they're at, what's going to be happening, and then I'm gonna go into the impact, the different areas that it's going to impact. That way, for those of you who are moving here, you're not just thinking short-term in the locations, but you're thinking long-term and what these areas are going to turn into over the next 2, 3, 4 years. That way you don't move to a place in Boise and then 3 years down the line, it explodes in popularity and you're like, well, what the heck? I didn't want to live in a place that popular, or vice versa. Maybe you want to move to a place where it is going to grow and you have more things to do. So starting here at the 10 mile, the district at 10 Mile. We're out here off of 10 Mile Road and I-84 on the interstate in Meridian. It's bordering South Meridian and then also Central/North Meridian. So you're very centralized to everything in the Meridian area. The district at 10 Mile is going to be very similar to the village in Meridian. It's going to have initially a Target, which is big news, having that in a central location in the Meridian area. We haven't had that yet, so we're gonna have a Target, which looks like first. They're gonna have a ton of new restaurants, shops. The second plan for the other big kind of anchor one is Whole Foods, so there should be a Whole Foods in here. You're gonna have condos, apartments, residential living, and really just an entertainment space. And we're right across the street from Scheels already, so you have Scheels over there, you have Chick-fil-A, you've got Zupa's, there's a grocery outlet, there's a Starbucks right there. So there's already a lot in this area, but getting the Target, Whole Foods, what's supposed to be restaurants we've never had, just all of the more retail space. Hopefully we get some retail space that we haven't had in the Boise area, maybe a full-on Nordstrom's, things like that is what's coming to this area. And so it's going to make this entire area a lot more popular in the Meridian section. And as we go through this video, there's multiple in Meridian, there's some in Kuna we're going to talk about, and then the biggest one at the very end, the $50 billion investment, which has the most impact. And there's some new updates on that we have some inside information on a couple of these things that nobody has talked about, nobody even knows about, and it's just through the benefit of having clientele and knowing people in the area on some of these big investments in the Boise area. But on the district at 10 Mile here in Meridian, some of the impact, obviously just this whole area of Meridian is going to be impacted along 10 Mile Road. The traffic is going to get worse here, I can already tell you that. It's already a little bit rough through this area and Meridian as a whole, and so you add in some of these big retail spaces and it's just gonna get even worse. But I would say the most impact is going to be the South Meridian side. So you have Southridge over there by CBH Homes, that's gonna be impacted greatly. You have a Tresidio community over there, Oakwood Estates. There's gonna be another Tresidio Homes community, so more luxury builders over there that are gonna be impacted. But a lot of the area around the water park in Meridian is really going to have a big impact, because this section of Meridian over here, there's not much room to grow. It's already been mostly built out. There's not any new communities really over here. There's one KB community and one CBH community, but that's really about it for now. And so a lot of the growth and home appreciation is going to be in the south side across the interstate. And as an example, when the village in Meridian was built, this was before Boise was a huge boom. When they built the village, those homes in and around the village area went up like 130%. And so you could see something similar in this area with the district, with Shields, and as they expand over the next few years, I don't know if it'll be 130%, but you're gonna see a little bit higher rate of appreciation in your homes in and around this area at the district. So this is just the beginning of this video. We're gonna step it up, keep going up the line, and we're gonna get in the car actually. That way I can talk to you about a number of different investments coming to the Boise area all across the Treasure Valley. And then we're gonna hop out of the car and go to the biggest investments in Boise, 15 billion and 50 billion. And again, like I said, we have some inside information for some investments that haven't officially been announced yet that are gonna take that 50 billion and basically triple that over the next 5 to 10 years. So let's go hop in the car, talk about a number of not just cool investments, or not just like investments, but also cool investments, things you could be excited for across the valley. So let's go hop in the car. Okay, now we're driving out of the district at 10 Mile. Want to mix in a little bit of, showing you as we drive some of the things that are coming to the Boise area. One thing I forgot to mention about the district at 10 Mile is it's supposed to be getting a Lifetime Fitness as well. So it'll be about 10,000 square feet and have pickleball courts, tennis courts, indoors, which will be a really cool feature here. I know that's definitely a popular thing, especially pickleball here in the Boise area. If you move here, you kind of have to get into pickleball. It's very popular here, and it's a really good way to meet people as you guys move here too. But we're exiting what will be the district at 10 Mile, and then as you guys can see across the street is Shields. And we'll hop on the interstate, and what we'll be driving towards is one of the next section of this is basically a combined another $1 billion coming to the Boise area. So as we're driving, all of the things we talk about adds up to about another $1 billion worth of investments, one of which is going to be Buc-ee's. So for those of you who know Buc-ee's in Texas, it's a sight to see apparently from what I hear. Definitely excited for Buc-ee's to come, and that will be off of Meridian Road and the interstate out here in Meridian, which will just be kind of a cool feature. I'm surprised that they chose Boise of all places, or Meridian of all places, to bring Buc-ee's here, but that's going to be one of the ones that really adds to the district at 10 Mile, because they're just a mile down the road, and so it builds on this whole area of Central Meridian, part of South Meridian, really expanding and growing a lot. So for those of you who are moving here and thinking of Meridian as a place that would be a good place to live for you, knowing that it's probably going to get even more traffic heavy than it already is. But part of that too is your home values will go up more. And for those of you who do want a lot of things to do, it could be a good place to buy, knowing that in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, you are going to have a lot more amenities around your home. Similar to how North Meridian is now, or even around the village. Instead of buying in those areas that are a little bit older, you have resale homes, and you're a little bit, it's busy right now around the village. You can buy in these areas around the district, around Buc-ee's, which will just be a mile down that way off Meridian Road. You can buy now and know that you're going to grow into the area, and amenities are going to be coming, and the price points are a little bit lower for now, although it's going up very quickly. That Tresidio community, the home prices there are going up very fast already. I have some clients in there, and there's a new Tresidio community coming as well. And then the CBH community is right across the street over here, has some views. So there's some lots with views of the entire valley. It's really gorgeous. We'll throw up some shots of what that looks like, because it's absolutely outstanding. As far as Meridian goes, there's only one other investment in Meridian that I want to talk to you guys about, and that's going to be off of Black Cat and Chinden. So this is going to be in North Meridian. Those of you who know what Prescott Ridge is, that's a new construction community by Hubble Homes. That is just got approved for a Boise co-op. So not anything crazy, but Boise co-op is kind of a natural grocer's here, just a local, similar to a Trader Joe's, I guess, kind of Whole Foods mix, but that'll be in North Meridian. Now, we're gonna start getting into a little bit of inside information and some of the other new investments. We've talked about them a lot in other videos, but these are gonna be Kuna investments. So, the biggest one is the Costco one that everyone knows about, and I'll go into some of the inside information that we got on that. There's also just got a word that Winco is going to be in Kuna as well. So Winco's coming, Costco's coming to Kuna, and then I've talked about the data centers before, but the data centers, one by Facebook, is already basically finished. That's an $800 million investment. That's almost finished. And then there's another data center that just got approved. And those two data centers in Kuna, it's to be determined still on what impact, if there is any negative impact on those data centers as far as the water, electricity, things like that. From what I understand so far is that it's actually been a net benefit. It's lowered the taxes in Kuna. They've actually invested millions of dollars into the infrastructure of Kuna. And so it seems like it's actually a benefit, which is great. But those two data centers are going to play a big role into the last investments in the Boise area that we talk about here at the end of the video. As we're driving too, so we're on the interstate right now. We're on the Meridian Road exit, and to the left right here is actually where Buc-ee's will be. That's where it's been platted to be. So you'll have a huge Buc-ee's right here. You already have Winco here. And then if you wanted to get off and go to Kuna, you'd actually take this exit, get on Meridian Road. And the Costco down Meridian Road will just be like 3 miles down that road. So it kind of impacts this South Meridian area with this district at 10 Mile as well. The inside information there on Costco is we actually got word is that it should be finished in August or October of 2026. So have some Costco people that gave us some word that apparently once they get going, they build it very quick. And it's supposed to be a shipment center as well. So it might be a little bit bigger of a Costco than some of the other ones in the valley. We'll see what happens, but that's going to be here fast. And once Costco gets in, once Winco then gets developed in Kuna, that whole Kuna stretch is going to just explode in value, explode in popularity, because the thing that's been holding a lot of people back, especially locally from the Kuna area, is you have to drive into Boise or Meridian to go to Costco, to go to Winco, to go do those things. And Costco and Winco is only going to attract more and more amenities. You're going to get more restaurants, more fast food places, more retail spaces in and around the Costco and Wincos that come to the area. So lots of things coming in the Meridian Kuna area, but now we're going to head over to the biggest impact on the Boise area. This investment in the Boise area, you guys have probably seen little bits of it, but I want to talk to you guys about some of the new information that we got that hasn't been released. It's a little bit tentative, but it seems pretty sure. Talk to you about how that's going to really affect Kuna, it's going to affect the Boise area, and really dive into how it's going to affect Boise as a whole, because this next investment that we talk about, 15 billion, 50 billion, and then there's more on top of that that we'll talk about, is going to have not just an impact on the Boise city itself, but the entire Treasure Valley, what it means to move here, what home prices mean, what job opportunities mean, what new jobs are going to come here, and what really has an impact on the entire future of Boise in a very, very big way. So let's get out of the car and go take a look. Okay, now we are at the $15 billion, $50 billion, and then we'll talk about what's to come after that. But the biggest investment in Idaho history, and you guys will see just how absolutely insane this is going to be as we talk about it. For those of you who haven't heard about it, it's going to have an impact on this area, but the whole Treasure Valley, it's going to impact in a way that I don't think any of us can fully even grasp right now. We'll talk about it, but this is the initial $15 billion Micron chip fab. So they're going to be manufacturing chips here in the Boise area, and you guys can already kind of see how massive it is. There's already 1,000, 2,000 cars out here for construction workers. There's probably 20 cranes. You're going to have the biggest parking garage in Idaho. And this is just the $15 billion Micron investment right now. They already have approval, and they are going to begin a $50 billion fab after they finish this one. They may even start it as they're finishing up this one. The $15 billion chip fab over here to the right is going to be done late 2026, 2027. And then they'll have the $50 billion one, I'm sure, a few years after that. And this initial one is going to bring a few thousand jobs. The $50 billion one is going to be 15,000 jobs. And we'll talk about how that's going to impact it. And then I'll talk about some of the things that we've found out from the inside Micron workers, construction workers out here, and give you guys some of the scoop on how big of an impact that's going to have, what's to come, what hasn't been announced yet. But just from an investment standpoint, I mean, $1 billion, it's kind of hard to put your mind around how much that is. But this chip fab is Micron, which is going to be a lot of high-paying jobs. And over the $15 and $50 billion, which is the first two phases, you're going to have around 15 to 20, maybe 30,000 jobs coming to the Boise area just because of Micron, and that's it. That doesn't account for all of you guys moving here already. That doesn't account for the just natural growth that Boise has already. This is a steroid shot in an already fast-growing area. And to give some perspective for you guys, I've talked about it in the past, but in Ada County in an entire year, we might sell 15,000 single-family homes. So if you add 15,000 high-paying jobs by the time this is all done, that's the same amount of homes that are sold in an entire year in the Boise area, to give you some perspective on how big of an impact it can have on the real estate market. And aside from the real estate market appreciation, it's going to just have an impact on the Boise area as a whole, because obviously with the two data centers, and this is how they come into play, you have the two data centers that are going in Kuna. You're probably going to have more that will come. You're going to have a manufacturing plant for chips, which is, all AI technology related. What that's going to do is impact the job market, the growth here outside of just Micron and the data centers. It's going to attract technology companies. It's going to just attract businesses in general because of the economic growth that this is going to have, and really just completely speed up the process of Boise growing. So over the next 10 years, we've talked about it, Boise is the #1 city in the entire country to have $1 million median home value. For now, we're still at $500,000, but as these get finished, it's going to be quick. And one thing with Micron that they do is once they get to a point to where they're ready to hire, they hire hundreds of jobs at the same time. So it's not like it's going to be a slow trickle. It's going to be, once they're ready, once they're finished, it's going to explode quickly, and huge waves of people are going to be coming in to work for Micron. And the thing about a lot of Micron workers, engineers, a lot of people from overseas, is they're very real estate minded, and a lot of people that work for Micron that buy houses out here, they don't just buy a house that they want to live in, but they buy 1, 2, 3 rental properties either right when they move here or over time as well. So it's just going to have a huge impact. And now the part that is new is that what happened is in Syracuse, New York, Micron was building a number of chip manufacturing plants there as well. They canceled some of those, and they're moving those over to Boise now. And so from what I've heard from people who are part of the management in construction, from Micron workers in their internal meetings, is you're going to have the 15 billion, the 50 billion, and then you're going to have what possibly after that is phase 3, 4, and 5 as well. So it's not just going to stop at the 65 billion, but it's possibly going to have 2 or 3 more phases after that to build even more, which is just crazy to think about that it could even be even more than it already is. The other thing that we've heard internally is that they're starting to put plans together to build a transportation from here to Kuna. And so Micron, we're out here in southeast Boise. A lot of you guys will see it if you fly into Boise on the plane, but you don't see it driving. So if you do come out and visit Boise, definitely come check it out, because in person it's crazy how big this is already. But in southeast Boise, obviously that's going to be impacted because all of the housing around Micron is just going to be impacted. People want to be close. But if they do get a transportation system in place to Kuna, Kuna's already fairly close in comparison to other suburbs of Boise for these Micron workers. But if they have a train, they build a major highway to Kuna, or they even just develop a bus system from Micron to Kuna, you have Costco, Winco, the already popular desire for people to start moving to Kuna that we've talked about in a lot of videos. But then you throw in this Micron investment and a transportation system, it's just going to make the areas explode already, even more than they already are. Whether Micron was here or not, Boise is going to continue to grow. People are going to continue to move here, as we've seen over the last 10 years. So you throw in this Micron investment and it is just going to have a major impact, as well as all of the other things we talked about in this video. So that is all of the major investments in the Boise area that are going to have a huge impact and can impact where you choose to live, whether you want growth in the suburb you choose in Boise, whether you don't want growth. If you don't want growth, you might want to move to Middleton or Star or Emmett, where you're away from where these investments are. If you do want growth and appreciation, you might want Southeast Boise, you might want Kuna, you might want South Meridian around the district at 10 miles, so that your home is appreciating, so that you're getting amenities, so that you're having job growth. And just know that all of this is coming. Kuna, again, is going to be probably one of the more impacted suburbs for all of these investments that we've talked about. So go watch this video where I do a full driving tour. I drive through Kuna. I show you guys exactly what it's like to live there, point out all of the different suburbs, the things growing there, the culture there, all of the pros and cons. Thank you guys for watching. Look forward to meeting you guys in person.